I do miss a good Miami zone game, but we're not going to be seeing it this time. Cannon has been notorious on that map with players like the Ninja 127, but not gonna happen this time. Small World's End is where we're going. Blaze will pick up the sword to start off, looking for some hits here. Gauntlets in hand for Eve, pardon. Just looking for damage back, and he's just getting it. He's getting the sidelines, no follow-ups or anything, but he's getting unanswered damage, and that's gonna be big on this Onyx because the defense stat is so strong. The damage is gonna be so like very easily mitigated from Blaze, especially considering that he's playing Tatori, which is a notoriously low-strength character. But it doesn't matter because he's just landing Endlight after Endlight. Finally gets on the cannon, gets on the comfort pick. What can he do with this, Tripto?
It's really going to have to be, like I said, those down airs. You know, the sword doesn't really have too good of an option to cover that from the ground, so he's going to use that to his advantage. Right there, able to do so with the gravity cancel delight into the Nair. That will put him into the KO percentage, but still, both of them are looking for some sort of KO. The recovery is going to whiff. Once again, Blaze going back to his game plan of doing these side sigs. Kind of worked out for him in the past, but right now, not so much. Both of them kind of in the KO percentage. There we go. Recovery coming up from Blaze's spear is going to confirm that stock. And I'm assuming he was going to... Well, no. I was going to say he was going to stick to the spear, but either way, it gets hit by that Haymaker. Very nicely done. And things are completely evened up.
Forced onto the spear, not necessarily out of his own volition, but taken down. That's the weapon that he had primed up, so that's what he's going to get. And I don't think he's going to be complaining going into this cannon. As I said, great range on the spear to zone out this cannon, make sure that the approaches can't connect. But Eve is just getting all of the big hits here.
Oh, he jumped out! Oh, it's so
Up is
unfortunate right
amazing.
there. And there was Blaze trying to do a gravity cancel desig. I really like that option, but unfortunately for him, Eve was able to cancel it out just in time before getting caught by it. Still, though, on the back foot right now in this edgeguard situation, but Blaze is able to hit the ground pound. Gets another one, and that's got to be the stock right there. I don't see him coming back with this edgeguard. Like I said, the Pogo, and there it is. The GCG6 second time is going to connect and bring Eve to the final stock of this game.
There it is, Blaze once again, so careful, so precise with his options, I want to say. Just knows exactly when to go for what, but it doesn't matter if you can do that off stage. If you're losing the neutral game, and if you're getting your Loud Red, and you're getting KO'd off a single sidelight connection, that's not gonna matter for you. Blaze looking to make it back now.
Had like an easy punish right there, but try to go for a downer instead. Like I said, that's kind of been the game plan so far, is to hit these down airs to try and put his opponent into the air. As you saw right there, it was a perfect way to boost Blaze into the air and get those side airs as a follow-up. Nicely done. Now the damage is actually more in Eve's favor. Able to get a side air to push him farther and farther towards the edge, trying to get that same edge guard situation. And nice slide charge in Sig. Eve able to bring an early close to that stock, and that is going to be 1-0 in Eve's favor. Wow.
Damn. What a powerful way to finish it. Blaze was in orange, no?
Yeah, just about. I mean, that was towards the edge of the stage, and of course has quite a bit of force in that Sig, but still, what an early KO there. And now we see Blaze is actually going to be switching things up here in game number 2, not waiting until the end. He's actually going over to the Rin. So as we know, definitely a character he's got a lot of experience on. As you can see, that level 100. So you got the clash of 2 level 100s here. You know, both masters of the character.
I think the axe is going to do him well. The sword did a bit of work in that set, but I think the axe is really his comfort pick. Been playing it in 2s as well all the time on that Ogrim. So Blaze really going to shine on this axe, I believe. Spear, once again, just comfort weapon. Gets in, gets the 3-piece, gets the El Clasico for the spear. D-Light Sarah again connecting. Another Sarah on top of that. Recovery as well. And Eve is taking a beating. Not a recovery. You just can't get to the weapon, man. Side to connect. Look for the Hail Mary. Not going to connect, but it's just built so much damage. He's got so much confidence that he feels like he can go for anything right now, and it doesn't even matter if he gets punished. He's so far ahead.
Absolutely. And I feel like a part of this is with this cannon into spear matchup. Like I said, cannon has no good way to protect itself from below besides that down air. But right below itself, I guess it has the ground pound, but that doesn't really work out, especially against these spear recoveries, which Blaze has been doing so much right there, unfortunately dropping what should have been a true combo KO confirm, but still is ahead at the moment. Yep, there is a recovery. See, I feel like probably I'm sticking with the spear. I'm guessing that's what Blaze is going to do. Once again, just thwarting my predictions every single time. Thank you, Blaze. Still, though, has a bit of a lead right now. Let's see. Can Eve even things back up? trying to get those down airs. That's kind of, you know, a normal game plan for the Axe. You know, you want to get those down airs, build up the damage, maybe get the bread and butter with the side light into Nair. But there's going to be an end light closing out that stock with a little bit of damage built up onto Eve.
Yep, a couple of slightly unlucky, you know, situations happening for Blaze. Couple of pickups in weird positions where he couldn't quite get a follow-up. But it doesn't matter because Eve is played that so well, got the punish, gets a bit of a string onto himself in return, gets that free piece once again coming out from Blaze, and he just feels so in control. Eve just feels a bit jittery, a bit, you know, nervous, a bit, you know, it's like he's meeting one of his heroes because Blaze is such a prolific player in the scene, gets the Axe neutral sig, calls him out, knows you're gonna come in, you're gonna look for something big here, but you're not gonna find it, you're gonna find an NC to the face and last stock for you. Looking to get one back with this, on Eve.
You know, Eve clearly has a great deal of respect for Blaze. As you see during these edgeguard situations, it seems like Eve kind of takes a back foot and lets him have the stage again, because it's like, I know that you're so good at placing those side airs on the spear, for example, to get back on stage. And that amount of respect is what's causing right now, I think, Eve to struggle a lot, because as you can see, the damage just keeps on racking up, and Eve is just not able to get himself in there, able to throw himself off stage to try and get a down air. Not going to work out right now, okay, but a nice second down air will close out that stock.
Yes, back.
Just about. Okay, there it is. Yeah, the D-Sig is going to do it. I almost cast a curse at it there, but okay. Thankfully, I did not do that. I would have felt bad. But here we go. Blaze does have a really good lead, and I'm thinking the only way that Eve could really do this is a big cannon string right now, which we've seen in the past. You definitely do. So let's see. Can he start it now? But nope, there it is. That falling side air from Blaze is going to close it out and bring things to 1-1.
The hope for a comeback ripped away as soon as the seed is planted, but it's not going to be that big of a deal. You know, Blaze started that set out super strong, coming out on the brink, coming out on the Axe, getting so many big hits. He's just inspired Eve, I believe, because Eve just decided to go into Zoe, go into an Axe of his own, deciding that the gauntlets were not quite the weapon for this matchup.
Yeah, and got the lower lower offense on the Zol. You know, a lot of people that play Zol, they like to get the 10 strength in there just for ultimate cheese, but Eve being a little bit more respectable, just doing the 8 damage, so gotta respect it. And also on the Amethyst, a good crossover, though I don't know too much about that color. I'm gonna let that let that marinate real quick, because what the heck am I looking at? I'm sorry, that drip. Ugh.
Yeah, I don't know about that one, but I don't know about the color, but the character pick is definitely working. Blaze firing back a couple of axes of his own, but Eve is unrelenting with these cannon neutralers. Gets a second, misses the third, but gets the last one in return. Gets the KO. Stock coming in, and the axe is in his hands, looking to match his idol, looking to match this story player that he's going up against, trying to eliminate him in the lower side of the bracket. Blaze not letting himself go to an easily dome.
Yep, that side sig is going to close things out, and Blaze is sticking onto the spear this time rather than going to the axe, noticing that it is definitely the common denominator in his success, able to get a nice string there with a dodge read, or I guess not even a read, just more like a pickup. Hex, I keep saying Hex, I keep thinking it's like Hexo from NA, but anyways, Eve rather is going to be able to get some cannon hits there, and it's really good on this Zol, obviously, because more damage is going to lead to a lot earlier KOs. Look at that, almost getting a double recovery, getting that sider to blast him across the stage. The down air 2 is going to add up some more damage. All it's going to take is one good signature, one recovery, one nair. There it is, able to close out that stock, and now it's a much bigger lead for Eve than before.
The amount of hitboxes that Eve is able to put out on the Zoe unpunished is unbelievable. Just the way that they place these attacks is so nice, just barely out of range. Using that D6 to space out Blaze, using those nairs, using those downlights as well to start the combos. And he just doesn't seem to have an answer for it so far from Blaze. He gets a nice little pogo, or rather bounce into the side there, but he needs more. He needs some sort of big hit here to close it out. Recovery looking to be it, but not quite. And like disarms him, looking for a kill off the side of Sage, not gonna find it just yet. And that's gonna be a ground pound catching out the recovery, calls him out!
Big respect right there to have the cojones to go for that, right? I mean, that was against Axe, you know, you could get hit by a recovery or a ground pound, that huge hitbox, but instead he was like, you know what, who cares, just throw out a ground pound, let's see if it works. And right there, able to connect, bonk him on the head, and send him down with a 2-stock deficit. So big win right there for Eve, who is now going into game number 4, swapping back over to the Tori, we got Blaze, who's, I guess, believing the original game plan. You know, the Bren, it worked in that second game, but third just knows got to go back to what was working in the beginning. So here we go. Game number 4. Back to
just to point it out,
World's End.
We got a level 100 Onyx on Eve. And we also got a level 93 on Zero. So Cannon definitely the favorite here in the weapons. So much experience built up onto it. The axe doing wonders for him as well. But it's really this Cannon that's been this week popping off. It's really been shining. It's really been getting the damage, getting the KOs as well, and applying so much pressure. D-Sig not, Sight and Sig. Jesus Christ, I cannot even think.
How did that go
everything
unpunished?
Connecting up the Blaze. It's just hit after hit after hit. No reprieve, no release coming in for Blaze here, as Eve just keeping up the pressure.
I am just, honestly, now that I'm really thinking about it, I'm surprised that Blaze would go back over to the Tori, which obviously is being a lower defense legend, against the Zol. Because Zol is just so much damage, and look at that. Able to send off the side, even though they were on the opposite side of the stage, that sider just had enough force to end that stock. And once again, Eve has just got a bit of a lead here, and all it's going to take is one big cannon string, which time and time again, that's exactly what Eve has been able to get onto Blaze. So let's see, what is Blaze's response? Able to get a side air to Pokemon over. Obviously, the edge guard situations is still what Blaze is good at, but oh no, sweat beating. Oh no, dropped it with the read, but still, look at that damage. The side sig coming in so quickly. The recovery is not going to be enough to close out the stock, but still, look at that damage. It's been getting so bad for Blaze. Finally, a side sig will close things out, but the momentum is speaking wonders for Eve right now. I feel like this is going to be a win in his favor.
He took, what, 4 hits, Blaze it is? And he's already so deep into the red. That's Zoe really playing a number on him. But he's looking to get it back. He's getting big hits here on the spear. He's getting a lot of damage coming out. Recovery as well. No GC Ensig, which is what I really want to see. I think that's the missing piece.
Right?
The Blaze's puzzle. Absolutely. And he's just not getting it. He's not connecting the hits that he needs. And it's going to be a... what is it? A D-Light Nair coming out from the cannon. Pardon me, I am completely whipped around and dizzy from this cannon performance coming out from Eve. Blaze finally gets a hit back. This time I'm guessing cannon out of
KO. Okay, there we go.
It's finally...
Things are completely even up now. Obviously, Blaze will be sticking to that comfort weapon of the spear, and really is going to have to put in a lot more work compared to Eve. Obviously, that Zol putting in a lot more damage than Tori will, but still, okay, a lot of good conversions here with the spear, able to get the Sayers and the Inlights to build up a lot of damage. That's about half of the stock gone. Another side air to push him a little bit further. Look at this. That edge guard is so devious, but so is that 3-piece. The side sig is just barely going to whiff. Now Blaze trying to go for a side sig of his own. So very careful both of them have to be right now. Oh,
what a catch from Eve!
Wow. That is a 3-1 Eve.